Okay, boys, today at our coaching table, we have a Platinum 2 Gekko main playing Fracture. He didn't submit any specific notes when it comes to his gameplay. You know, he just said, here is the VOD, papito, here is the tracker, review me. Tell me what the hell I should do better. Now, when it comes to this Platinum 2 player, let's see his tracker, and let's see what is happening for him here. His win rate this act, not bad. Maybe I should... Ooh, that's a huge amount of games. Okay, let's look at the last act. Like, we're not gonna look at episode 6, act 3. We're gonna look at the episode 6, act 2. So, he played 200 plus matches. And judging from this tracker, his KD is abysmal. Like, abysmal for this amount of games. Like, if you wanna rank up, you definitely want to value your life a bit more in these lobbies. You know, Platinum, Gold, and Diamond. And you want to choose the perfect fights to fight, actually. Like, a lot of the Platinum and Diamond players just don't realize which fights they should fight and which fights you just don't need to fight. Like, basically, you know, there are some fights that you should just avoid. Play on the numbers or play on the contact of your teammates, and that's it. KD is abysmal. Headshot percentage with weapons is okay, you know, nothing special, nothing bad, nothing good. Like, I mean, 23% with Vandal is fine for a Platinum player, you know. It's not that good, but it can be better. And when it comes to the agent that he is maining, he is primarily maining Gekko. Okay. Your impact in pistol rounds is also abysmal. Like, but usually when I see this problem happening for the players, as I said multiple times, like, that is a problem of not having a proper strategist and not having a proper idea what to do on every single map and what your focus actually should be. Now, Vandal is his primary weapon. Okay. Ghost stats, okie dokie. Stinger stats, okie dokie. Not bad. And instantly, I'll tell you, man, like, you know, Shorty must be implemented in your gameplay. Like, basically, you know, Shorty is something that you should always have as a primary, secondary weapon, and it's always gonna come in handy, like, to trade yourself out, to get some easy kills. Even if you're not playing Jet or Omen, Shorty is far better secondary weapon than having a classic pistol. Like, it's such a broken weapon, you know, currently in the meta. When it comes to your overall performance, oh, well, you started in episode 5. Okay, man, like, this guy started actually playing the game in the episode 5, and just in 3 acts, he went from Silver 2 to Platinum 2. This is great, man. I mean, this act, you can easily get into Diamond or maybe even Ascendant. Because your MMR is high, and not bad. Like, this player is actually good. Huge potential. With Sage, you have higher win rate than with Gekko. That's weird. Okay, let's see the maps. So on Split, highest win rate, as it should be. Like, Split is, you know, in my opinion, it's the easiest map to be played up to Immortal 3. It is so easy to win the matches on Split, and I don't know, like, literally, once you understand how to play the map, what to abuse and how to enter the sites and what to abuse on a defender's side, it's such an easy map. Lotus, Icebox, Fracture. On Fracture, you're playing... You're terrible with Gekko, but Sage is working good for you. Okay, but we're gonna see today why is that so. On Haven, Gekko is actually amazing. Like, I don't know how is your weakest map, like, Haven with Gekko. Like, it is so easy to plant the spike on B in the first round. Like, basically, if I'm playing Gekko in the first round of Haven, I usually tell my teammates to just push B in the first round. I use my flash of the Gekko here. I use the wingman there to plant the spike. And, you know, we just fight for this area of the map here. We'll see what's happening here. Okay, let's see the VOD. Let's see the VOD. So, Fracture.
There are better ways to
Jesus
survive.
Christ, that is very loud. That is very loud. Okay, instantly a mistake. Like, we didn't even start the match. Okay, listen. Fracture. The absolutely best first round strategy on Fracture for every single elo, for every single agent, for every single lobby is the following. You tell 2 of your teammates to defend the B site. It doesn't really matter how these teammates are playing. All that it matters is that they are playing together, passively, and, you know, judging from this team composition, I would just put Sage and maybe Reyna or Jett playing the B site. And that's it. They just need to be passive. They don't need to push anything. Like, just let them play. You know, Sage can wall off the arcade. Is that arcade? Yeah, arcade. And just play safe. Now, you tell one of your teammates to play a contact in the A main. Maybe the Brimstone. You know, like to smoke off the enemies here, to waste some kind of a utility from the enemies, and he should just play on the contact. Meaning that as soon as he gets the contact with the enemies and exchanges a few bullets, he pulls himself back into the A site. And what you should do, you should always slowly push through the dish area of the map together with one of your teammates on the contact, meaning that you're shifting all of the time. So you tell your Jett, hey Jett, can you push with me dish? Play slow, play on contact, shift. If you want to listen to you, of course. If your teammates don't want to listen to you, then fuck it, do this alone. And in the first round, with Gekko, I would buy the Wingman, and you have like 3 buy options. You can go with a Wingman, Light Shield Classic. You can go with a Wingman Frenzy, Wingman Ghost. It's really up to you and what you prefer. I personally prefer the Ghost because, you know, I don't know, I find myself a lot of times on Fracture when I do this type of a strategy, playing a medium range and a long range gunfights. And how do we execute this strategy? So,
30 seconds left.
we're playing on the contact here and we are pushing. We come up here, from this position, we peek the enemies, clear this area of the map, and 3 things are gonna happen for you. Number 1 thing that is gonna happen for you is your teammate in the A main area of the map is gonna get the contact. You know, enemies are gonna push A. What do we do then? Then you want to quickly clear this area of the map alone or with your teammate, clear everything there, and go back onto the A site and support your teammates on the A site. Second thing that is gonna happen for you is you're gonna get a contact with the enemies here, with one of your teammates. And you're going to surprise the enemies because nobody on Fracture will expect an early aggression in the dish area of the map. And in dish, you're never going to see more than like 2 enemies in the first round. Very rarely you're gonna see that. Majority of the times what players do when they're splitting the A site, they put 1 or 2 teammates there and 4 or 5 enemies are playing A main. And if you're pushing this with one of your teammates, it is so easy to get an early kill here and to kill the enemies. Now, whenever you get a contact with the enemies here, whatever the outcome is of that contact, you know, enemies fall back or I don't know, like you kill the enemy or enemy kills your teammate, like and you don't refrag him, immediately pull back onto the A site and play the A site together with your teammate that is on the A site. Now, you don't hear the enemies anywhere. Enemies are not here. Enemies are not here. You're slowly pushing with your teammate. Pushing, 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 pushing. Clearing this. Clearing this. Clearing that. Clearing that. Clearing this. Now, from this position, I would run up a bit here and then slowly push again. Pushing, pushing, pushing. If the enemies are ending up on B, they will never expect for you to be this fast in the arcade area of the map. Like, they will never expect you to be so fast behind them. And, you know, when you push here, you can just clear that angle, clear the the box, go up the ropes, surprise the enemies on tower, and kill the enemies from behind. If enemies, for some reason, played a slow A push, you know, you did all of this rotation here, all the way into the B site. I would just instantly run back to A through the CT and make sure that I'm ready to help my teammate on the A site. So, that is the absolutely best strategy for solo queue on Fracture, regardless of the agent that you're playing. Two of your teammates playing passively with Sentinel's utility on B site. You know, you can tell your Sage to just wall off the arcade. One of your teammates getting the contact in the A main area of the map, and you and one or more of your teammates are pushing the dish slowly and trying to get a contact here. And depending what happens there and what happens here, you're deciding whether you want to go for this early flank, early lurk, or whether or not you should just fall back onto the site and play with your teammates on the bomb site. It is absolutely stupid in the first round of Fracture to play slow and to play passive on a defender side. Because, first of all, you don't know how good or bad your teammates are, and you're gambling a lot there. Basically, maybe your teammates are complete trash cans and they're just gonna die in individual fights with the enemies. Second of all, nobody expects this fast of a, lurk and flank in the first round if the enemies decide to push the B side. And you will be able to help your teammates on B almost instantly. Like, look at the Fracture more of a, fast rotation map, where you want to make some semi-aggression to the enemies. You want to fight for these areas of the maps almost every single round, and to get the early contact and the early information where the enemies are and where the enemies are not, so that you can play with your teammates and so that you can take the space and the map control from the enemies. Let's see what the fuck you do. May I ask really quickly, why is he not buying an ability in this round? On defender side, I usually go with a wingman as my ability. Why? Because in a pistol round, if you have a wingman to defuse the spike, or you have a wingman to plant the spike, it's very hard to kill that wingman. Wingman has a lot of HP. I think he has like 200 health points or something like that. And it is very useful for a clutch scenarios and for scenarios if, your teammates die and you're alone and you need to defuse the spike, etc., etc.
Winning this match.
Okay. Show me what you got.
Here, like, he should have bought the wingman. Like, always buy the wingman in the pistol round. Like, it's such a powerful piece of utility. Mosh pit is kind of, 50-50. Like, it's good to stop enemies' pushes, to delay the enemies' pushes, to take the space and map control from the enemies, but it's a hit or miss, like, it's very inconsistent.
Ah, there's one here.
You should smoke her.
Hold on. Let me smoke. Yes, let me smoke. Come here.
Yeah.
Let me smoke.
Okay, just a quick explanation of Fracture before we continue. Your default bomb site on this map is the B site, meaning that when you have no idea where the enemies are gonna go and what enemies are gonna do, I usually play the B site instead of playing the anything else. But your primary focus on this map as a team in solo queue. Yo, Painazzo! Thank you a lot for the prime sub, and thank you for scamming Jeff Bezos, baby. Much love, man. Much love. So, basically, like, in solo queue, you always need to emphasize to your teammates to take the control of the A main. Like, A main control is very, very important on a defender's side. Like, your Brimstone or whoever the fuck you have should always be smoking here or here, making the pressure there with utility. Breach should be stunning this, nading this spot. Like, controlling A main and arcade area of the maps is very important on Fracture. Like, that is your primary focus as a team. Your primary focus as a solo player is, abusing as many off angles and the early contacts as you can. Basically, you should never start your round on B side on tower. Here, passively. That's stupid. It's better to just start here and then, pull out yourself to some other angle or position. On A side, there's almost not a single moment of time where you should start your round passively on the A side. It's better always to contest the A main area of the map and then slowly pull yourself towards the site. Also, abusing 3, 4, 5 different off angles and different pixel angles on the dish area of the map. Basically, the primary mistake that you can make on Fracture is playing way too passive and just letting the enemies to completely stomp you, to pick all 4 ultimate orbs and to farm the ultimate orbs. That is the most stupid thing you can do on this map.
There's one inside, one inside.
One inside, one inside.
Nice communication.
Down A.
Nice.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
Nice.
Good run. Good run by your teammates. Even though in this round I would have still done the strategy that I've explained right now. Always on Fracture.
Good work.
Buying a Marshall and Lightshell in a second round is something that I will never recommend you in the Platinum Elo. If you win the first round on Fracture, on a defender's side, and you're playing a second round, a force buy round, always go for a heavy shield and go with some better weapon. Go with a Bulldog, go with a Spectre, go with a Judge, depending what type of strategy you want to do. And I would recommend you, in this type of rounds, to just play passively, play slow, and don't aggress the enemies. For 2 reasons. Number 1 reason, why is the aggression bad in this round? Because in the future rounds, enemies might expect that aggression, and it is better to be passive in this round. Why the fuck would I give the enemies some, entry frags, entry kills? Why the fuck would I, risk winning this round? In this round, I really value my life, and I'm trying to close out this round in the most painless way possible. Second reason why I would not go for any aggression like this is because I'm just risking my life, for absolutely no reason. We have a Marshall, we have a Bulldog, we have a Spectre, we have a Judge, we have better guns than the enemies have. Why would I give the enemies some individual fights? Maybe right now dying from the Sheriff one tap and losing a life for nothing and losing the numbers advantage. It's stupid. So in this round, if I was playing Gekko, I would buy a heavy shield, I would buy a Spectre, I would buy a Wingman, and that's it. Or Bulldog with heavy shield without any utility. Heavy shield is very, very important in the second round. Very important. What if the enemies have a Sheriff and they just delete you? Or enemies buy the Frenzies or some shit. Or maybe enemies force right now. You never know what's going to happen in solo queue. It is stupid to risk losing the rounds because of your economy in the future rounds. You win one round, the second round is 99% of the times a force buy, full buy. You didn't win the first round just to lose the second round.
Yeah.
If you already wanted to play a Marshall, I would have played a Marshall with a heavy shield.
Flash.
You see, right now, enemies forced. This bonobo has a Ares, and you have a Marshall with a light shield. And now you're somehow in a disadvantage compared to the enemies, even though you won the first round. It doesn't make any sense, basically, because in Valorant, every single round is important. In CSGO, we have 30 plus rounds to play, depending if we go in overtime or not. Here we have 24 rounds, and that's it. Basically, in Valorant, every single round is important for you and for your overall win rate. And I would never risk losing such an easy rounds like this second round. Right now, maybe what I would have done. Okay, in the last round, we destroyed the enemy's push onto the A side. The highest chances are that enemies are going to play some kind of a default or they're going to push the B side. So right now, I would just tell my Brimstone, hey Brimstone, can you boost me here? Buying a Bulldog with a heavy shield. Brimstone is crouching underneath you. You're spamming the jump button. You get up on this position, and I would just abuse this off angle and try to pick the enemies there, take one kill, drop down immediately, take a second kill, and make sure that I survive the second round so that I can play the third bonus round. Like this aggression really doesn't make sense in the second round, and it's just stupid to risk your life like this. Especially here, once you miss the first shot, you should have just pulled back. Because right now, you have no idea if some enemy is close to you, if some enemy is on the left side, how many enemies are there, and if you die right now, it's like, you know, your chances of winning this round are instantly lower.
Oh my god, 100 on.
Stop doing this shit. Okay? Like basically, if you win the first round on a defender's side, second round, abuse the gun advantage that you have, and that's it. Let the enemies come towards you. Let the enemies be the one that are risking the peaks, that are risking the pushes, and don't give to the enemies individual gunfights. And that's it. And also, make sure to survive this round so that you have a bonus weapon for a third round, and that's it. Right now, you know, we died. Only God knows how good or bad your teammates are. Like in the early stages of the match, in the first 3 to 5 rounds, I always make sure that I'm alive, that I'm able to control the outcome of my rounds, outcome of my matches, and I'm trying to build up the trust into my teammates. If I think that I can trust my teammates, then I would maybe go for these aggro plays and you know, like try to pick the enemies apart and risking my life a bit more. But in a second round, doing this, like, why the fuck?
Jet and
Okay. Okay, I mean, in this third round, if you lost a bonus weapon and all of your teammates are bonusing, you should bonus with them. You know, like if all 4 of your teammates have the sheriffs, marshals, and shit like that, go bonus. The only thing is, you know, Guardian for a platinum player with such a mechanical skill that you have is never a good. Like, why the fuck people play Guardian? Like, literally, Bulldog is better in every single term. Like there is not a single point where Guardian is better than Bulldog. Like if you abuse the ADS power of Bulldog and you extend consistently the gap between you and the enemies, and you abuse the ADS primarily, the burst fire, it's such an easy, 10 times easier weapon. 2 body shots, Guardian gets a half shield, but in this round, enemies have a full buy. All of them have the heavy shields and shit, like, unless the enemy is forced, like, I don't know if the enemy is forced in the last round. The only maps where it is okay to buy the Guardian in the bonus rounds, eco rounds, and, you know, in those type of rounds, is Breeze and Icebox. On every other map, you should be prioritizing abusing weapons that are far more adaptive, easier to be used, weapons that rely on your positioning and movement, and that's it. Bulldog, Judge, Spectre, Stinger, all of that shit. And definitely one thing that I would not do in this round, I will not repeat the same play that I did in the previous round. Like, basically here, if I was the enemy, and I saw you in the second round pushing this, I will be holding you here. I will be expecting you here, and it was much better to do something different in this round. Also, you need to pay attention on how enemies are pushing in the early stages of the match. So in the first round, enemies pushed A, we demolished them on A. In the second round, enemies tried to push the B main and B site, we demolished them on B. So in a third round, I would expect the enemies to actually try to hit the A side through the dish and through the A main. And if you already decided to play Guardian, I would just do this. So I would pick up the Guardian, and I would play this pixel angle here. And I would try to one-tap the enemies there, go back. Or I will play the dish like this and try to one-tap the enemies here and go back.
Stim beacon here.
Another mechanical mistake. Listen, whenever you're peeking the angles, whenever you're peeking the corners, never peek them while you're ADS'd. You always want to do this type of a mechanic. So you think the enemy is there, and you want to ADS that spot. You want to ADS as you're moving like this. You want to ADS as you're moving like this. So as that position is being revealed, you want to ADS at that moment of time. You don't want to move like this because you're in the huge angle perception disadvantage, and enemies are always going to see you before you see them. Plus, you're slowing down your movement by a lot and your peak by a lot. So it is better to peak while you're not ADS'd, you know, going for this type of a peak and scoping in at a moment of time when this angle is getting in touch with that angle. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, hey. Nice.
Gun here.
But this is a platinum lobby, so you know, like.
Nice.
My man is walking in like a turret, man. Like he doesn't care, man. Like he's a ADS machine. Okay, listen. Here you got 2 kills only because enemies are terrible. Like I'm not teaching you how to play against platinum players for the rest of your life. As soon as you get in ascendant lobbies, you're gonna get shit on because of these mistakes, both mechanical mistakes and also like why the fuck are we pushing this alone?
Hey. Nice.
Gun here.
So here once again, like I would not be pushing this angle scoped in. It's just that guy is a full bonobo. The guy instantly crouched before firing a single bullet, and he was 10 times easier target. Anyways, here we also made a mistake when it comes to the discipline. After you got that kill on the jet, your job is done. Good job, man. Good fucking job, man. Like, you just killed one enemy, you made a numbers advantage. Fall back. Reset yourself. Tell your sage to heal your anything. Basically, like, people in solo queue have this problem by a lot. Like, your primary focus in ranked is making the numbers advantage and just trying to play on that numbers advantage as much as you can. Like, your job is done. Once you see your 5 versus 4, fall back instantly. Like, there is no one on the B side to defend the B side. We still cannot trust our teammates to close out this round. It would have been far better to just reset yourself, go back on the B side, and just hold the enemy's push from some off angle again, and that's it. Because right now, because you died here, we don't know how this round is gonna pan out. We cannot control the outcome of this round at all. And we are completely relying on our platinum teammates to close out this round, instead of being there with them to actually fight the enemies. Like, I would much rather play, you know, 5 versus 4 while I'm alive in those type of rounds than playing 4 versus, than, you know, taking 2 kills and dying and then praying to God that these 4 guys are gonna close out this round.
Player standing.
And they're not able to do that. Like, these type of mistakes should never happen for you. Like, literally, this is a mistake of a discipline and a wrong mindset in Valorant. Like, even when I'm, you know, doing these series, unranked to Immortal, when I'm playing in Radiant lobbies, Immortal, like, it doesn't matter in which lobby I'm playing. My mindset is always like this. So, how do I play Valorant? Number 1 goal is making numbers advantage by abusing some kind of a strategy or position. That is number 1 goal. As soon as you make the numbers advantage, my goal shifts to number 2 goal, and that is abusing numbers advantage to close out my round without dying. Because in a solo queue environment, you never know with who you're playing, against who you're playing, how capable your teammates are, especially in the first 0, 1 to let's say, 6 rounds of a half. Like, after 6 rounds of a half, then maybe I'm gonna be trusting my teammates a bit more, going for a bit more, you know, suicide plays and, you know, going for these type of plays. But right now in the 3rd round, you just don't know how capable your teammates are to close out this round, especially because it was a bonus round where your teammates had RSs, sheriffs, ghosts, and it would have been 10 times more beneficial after you got that entry on the jet and that early kill on the jet to just fall back and play passively, instead of putting the whole fate of winning that round in the hand of your teammates.
My power.
How did we...
One tapped in.
Okay.
5 bullet.
Okay. 4th round.
Oh my god, fuck.
Reloading.
Fuck.
Don't push.
Okay, I mean, this utility dump was completely fine. The only thing that is not fine here is, like, you know, why are you really like looking at the arcade when the arcade is walled? I mean, they don't have a single, you know, Jet just died. They don't have a single agent to go over the wall. You know, like, you kind of wasted your time there, but utility dump was fine to slow down the enemy's push and delay them.
Reloading. My ult's ready.
Get that ace.
Okay, a huge tip here. Like, this is another huge mistake. So, what do we consider? What is the real numbers advantage in Valorant? You know, what is the real numbers advantage? Like, where 5 versus 1, 5 versus 2, 5 versus 3, 4 versus 3, 4 versus 2, 4 versus 1, 3 versus 2, 3 versus 1, and 2 versus 1. Now, when you have this type of a numbers advantage, you always want to prioritize 2 things. So, the first thing that you want to prioritize is you want to play CSGO instead of playing Valorant. Meaning that you're prioritizing gunfights over anything else. Like, you just want to fight together with your teammates as they're picking the fights, and that's it. Especially if it is some kind of a full buy round where both you and the enemies have the equal economy, or if enemies are equal hull buy. So essentially, you know, in those type of situations, I'm just prioritizing the refrag potential, and that's it. Like, basically, you know, telling my teammates 3, 2, 1, peek. My teammates are peeking, I'm peeking with them. Essentially, the worst mistake you can do in those type of scenarios is prioritizing utility usage is bad most of the times. Especially if your teammates are already fighting. So, in this type of a scenario, if I see that my Brimstone Gorilla is pushing there and fighting the enemies, fuck the wingman. Fuck everything. Maybe, you know, deploy the flash if you have it and go out. Fight with him. Don't let him lose his life for nothing. Like, I see a lot of the players, you know, they end up in a 5 versus 2. They want to do the aggressive plays with Omen. They want to do the smoke here, smoke. Fuck it, man. Pick up the gun, man. Refrag that fucking idiot that is pushing, you know, like, refrag your teammates, fight with the guns. Okay? Why is the 5 versus 4 not a real advantage? Because, let's say, you know, you're 5 versus 4. And you're playing on a defender's side. I mean, you're still somewhat in a numbers disadvantage. You know? Because, let's say you're 5 versus 4 on defense. And there's 4 enemies on the attack. But you cannot stack the B site and A site and always be 5 versus 4. You will always be 3 versus 3, 2 versus 2, 4 versus 2, 4 versus 3, etc, etc. And when you're playing on the attack, you just don't, you know, depends what type of agents are left in the enemy's team composition. I mean, if they have a Killjoy, Cypher alive, Sage alive, like, I need to be aware of the flanks of the lurks. I need still to execute the bomb sites. I need to use a lot of the utility to actually take the map control. That is why 5 versus 4 is not a real numbers advantage in Valorant. Like, you know, we still need to prioritize utility usage, good positioning, and good movement over anything else. But when this happens for me, I just prioritize gunfights. You know, I'm trying to fight together with my teammates. I'm trying to be there for them. I'm trying to just fight the enemies. You know, I don't need to get picked by some kind of a timings while I'm pulling out my utility, while I'm doing some aggressive teleport, etc. If I'm playing Omen or Jet, and these are the numbers, I'm never gonna be an aggressive player. I'm just gonna play chill, you know, make sure that I can get refragged, that my teammates can get refragged. We have the guns in the hands, we're fighting the enemies, etc, etc.
Ace?
Spike down B.
And also, when you're like in this type of a numbers advantage, another reason why you should not be wasting your utility like this is because of your overall economy. Come on, what is this wingman? Like, you're sending a little guy to die. How aren't you ashamed, man? For a second, like the dude did nothing to you, man, and you're sending him into a battle. Like, in those type of scenarios, I also save the utility because why would I waste my credits for the next round? My economy is still shit. I have like 150 credits in my pocket. I don't know if we're gonna win the next round. I don't know if we're gonna win next 2 rounds. Like, save your utility, save the money, kill the enemies, make sure that you stay alive with a gun. End of the story.
Spike sana.
Flawless.
Nah,
Okay.
no A's. No A.
Okay, I mean, let's be honest, chat, like, these enemies are very predictable into how they're pushing, and probably right now they're gonna push A side. I mean, if I had to gamble, I think it is gonna be the A push, but we're gonna see.
Yeah, I won't do that again.
And also, like, listen, even if you're Brimstone, yo, PVK! Thank you a lot for the 5 gifted subs. Thanks a lot, man. Okay, listen, boys. If you have a Brimstone, Astra, or Omen on Fracture, always tell them to give you some kind of a smoke or utility in A main. Like, A main control is very important on this map. Like, if my Brimstone is playing here, just tell him to, you know, do a smoke like this, or to do a smoke like this, depending on what type of strategy you're using, you know, like, what you're trying to abuse. Like, when is this smoke better? When you're fighting from the doors and you just wanna, you don't want enemies to even come into this area of the map at all. Like, you wanna completely deny the space of the enemies. And this smoke, I prioritize when I'm playing a short range weapons. To surprise the enemies maybe with a judge or shorty through this position, to surprise enemies with a judge or shorty there, just so I can close the gap with the enemies a bit more. So if the enemies are Eco and Halbai, and I have a good weapons, just, you know, do a smoke like this, or a smoke like this. If you're Eco or Halbai and you want to control the A main, just do a smoke like that. Fight the enemies from the doors, fight the enemies through the A main with the judges. I don't know what type of weapons you're gonna have, you know, like, it's just better. But always tell your smokers to smoke your A main, like, just to have some control, and also to potentially waste some time from the enemy's push, and some utility from the enemies as well.
Nah, maybe I will.
But this is absolutely stupid. Like on Fracture, you really need to prioritize that aim and control, and very rarely you should be starting your rounds, you know, just playing on the tower. What is that KO doing, man? Like, the guy's playing RS there like 24/7. Okay, guys. What can we do about that KO? Like, if you see that on Fracture, enemies are repeating themselves a lot of the time. It's like, I don't know. You see an enemy is holding this angle 24/7. You see that enemies are just swinging this without any flashes or utility. You see enemies are pushing the dish or holding the dish 24/7. They're pushing the arcade slowly here 24/7. Pick up the fucking op as soon as possible and just punish the enemies. Like, basically, you know, if you're playing arcade, just hold this pixel angle, easy kill, get the fuck out, get back on site, end of the story. If that kill is already playing RS there, pick up the op, kill him, get the fuck out. Same goes for the A main area of the map. On Dish, the amount of kills I get with op is actually insane. Like, you know, you can just hold this pixel angle here, or this angle here, like this, take a kill, get, you know, GTFO, and that's it. Like, make the numbers adventure. Like, that KO is very repetitive.
Attacker spawn.
When you're playing on a defender side, it is very, very important to abuse the enemy's repetition on both attack and defense. You want to notice, you know, these patterns of pushing, patterns of positioning, patterns of movement. Like, it's so easy to punish the enemies.
Oh low.
You want to play?
And this was a mistake of our Brimstone. Please, guys, it doesn't matter which map you're playing. It doesn't matter which agent you're playing. If the enemies are eco, half buy. Unless they have some kind of an ultimate and utility that can fuck you up on the bomb site, don't be aggressive. Just hold off angles, hold off the positions. You have better guns. Do not close the gap with the enemies and allow them to kill you like, you know, this Brimstone just died right now. Like, I would go for this type of a push, maybe if they have a Killjoy ultimate or the Breach ultimate, to prevent them from using that ultimate to push the B site. Or maybe I would just push the arcade into under. But what Brimstone is doing is absolutely stupid.
Hey, let's play.
It's one arcade.
This is a El Clasico mistake of a lot of the players in Valorant. Your teammate is on the site, and you're doing nothing to close the gap with that teammate. Like, okay, right now Chamber has the operator, and they have a gun from the Brimstone. Like, if I was doing this rotation, I would not rotate through here. Why? Because that Chamber might rip my head apart, and I'm dead. And if they smoke me, I also might get fucked. Absolutely. Like, basically, right now, I would instantly rotate through the canteen and just make sure that I can play with this guy as the enemies are pushing into the site. You know, Neon is using a wall, doing a mosh pit there, doing a flash up, peeking the enemies, killing the enemies as my Sage is getting the contact. Because right now, you won't be able to support that Sage at all. You're selling that Sage for nothing. And she's probably going to die, lose the side. They're going to plant the spike, and the round is 10 times harder. What the fuck is this Brimstone smoke?
Yeah.
Guys, listen, like, if you're using the smokes on Fracture, basically smoke goes here, end of the story. And optionally, sometimes you want to have a smoke there or there, depending what type of economy you have, like, to close the gap with the enemies. You know, you can do some kind of a weird setup. But, I don't know, this smoke doesn't exist in Valorant.
It's one arcade.
Here, instead of holding the tower for that Sage, like, you should have just held the arcade much faster than what you did here.
Oh my god.
I mean, you should have been ready for this fight long time ago, essentially. Like, you know, all of this round was just a problem of mispositioning, and that's it. Nothing else. Like, in this scenario, if I have a wall in arcade, my Sage is on site. I'm running in the canteen, and I'm trying to, you know, help that Sage instantly. And to be there for her, holding the arcade push for her, and that's it, like.
Oh my god.
A lot of the mistakes happen in this round, not only from you, but also from your teammates as well. Guys, don't be afraid, even if you're playing Gekko, even if you're playing Sage or Killjoy, don't be afraid to buy the Operator if you feel that you can get an easy kill onto the enemies. I really feel that, you know, enemies are very repetitive in this specific VOD review, and you can easily punish them in the B main with some kind of an aggro peek, and that's it. And also on the minimap, when you're playing Fracture, always pay attention at the start of the round how your teammates are positioned and for what type of place they're going to go. Like basically, the early positioning of your teammates can tell you everything what your teammates are gonna do in that specific round. Like, body posture of your teammates is everything on the minimap. If I see that Sage is going here, she's going for a wall. If I see that my Reyna is going for this, playing there, she's going for a pick there. If I see my Jet here, I know she's going for a pick in A main. And if I see my Brimstone here, I know that he's going for a peek. Now, who is in the most amount of danger right now? Sage is not. She's safe. She's good. She has a wall. She's probably going to wall off the arcade. She's going to be, you know, safe. Jet has the dash ability. If she dies, she's mentally ill. And it's her problem. She could have played that better. Reyna is okay. You know, it's only one angle. Players usually don't use any utility here. So she's okie dokie. And in a bit of danger, but okay. But my Brimstone is dead. If he picks this again, he is dead 8 out of 10 times. So in this round, if my Brimstone already wants to push B main, I would just tell my Brimstone, hey Brimstone, man, I have a better idea. You know? Can we do a smoke here? And then push the enemies with a flash and take this full space control. And in this round, if I already saw that my Brimstone is being aggressive in B main, tell him to do that. Do the flash up here. Push the enemies. Do the molly there. Take the control of the... Take the control of the... Of this area of the map. Because right now, your Brimstone is probably going to die.
Barrier created.
Okay, he actually played this a bit safer. I was really concerned he was going to die there because he was once again going for the same peak, and that was that. If he peeked that, GG.
Launching smoke.
Going B, I think.
Bro, our Reyna is playing with a judge in this. I respect. Unnecessary peek and just, you know, if you're already playing behind the boxes, and like I don't know, like this is all problem of discipline and you know, like not having a proper mindset while playing Valorant. Like I don't know how players don't realize when you make a numbers advantage in the game, even the slightest, GG. You don't need any more 50-50 fights. You don't need to fight anymore alone. Like here, if I was left alone on the B side, I would just be holding this off angle here, trying to one-tap the enemies in this 70-30 gunfight, hiding myself, doing the flash, peeking the enemies, fighting with utility, and with abusing different off angles and pixel angles. Like, why the fuck I need to go for this type of a swing and this type of a peek and risk some kind of a 50-50 fight or enemies penetrating me through the box? Like around this box, there's a very low amount of times, limited amount of times, where you should peek from the right side. I really try to avoid that as much as possible because even if you hide, like, you know, enemies can easily penetrate you. Primarily what I try to use is, you know, this angle here, so that enemies cannot penetrate me while I'm getting behind.
Ooh. Bro, this one.
Also, what he could have done here is, yeah, just, you know, jump spotting the enemies. Crouch, jump spot, and that's it.
B.
Smoke's down. Sit still.
God, so nice.
And Jet can buy.
Get it.
What are these guys doing?
Quick tip, always keep the shorty as a secondary weapon. You never know when it's gonna be useful. You never know when you're gonna need it. It's such an overpowered weapon.
Get out
Same shit. Like, as long as I'm seeing that this is happening, enemies are pushing B main, and my Brimstone is picking that stupid fight, I would just be telling him, man, like, let's do something smarter, let's do something better than, like, the most dangerous peak that you can do on a defender side of Fracture is this peak right here. And the only time when I'm going for this peak is when my teammates want to fight together, when I'm playing Reyna, Jet, or Chamber. With a Brimstone, with a Gekko. Fuck that shit, man. Like, I'm not gonna risk losing my life in some kind of a 50-50 fight at the start of the round when I can already abuse so many different things on this map to take the map control, to stop the enemy's pushes, to delay enemy's pushes, and to fuck up the enemies. Like, there's so many good off angles on B side and A side and generally on this map instead of just going for an aggro P here and dying like a potato.
There's one more B.
Enemy spotted A. Bye.
Bye. Last player.
What?
It's not what, like, you know, this fight here, you could have played 10 times better. Okay, so I want to fight the Chamber that is in the B main area of the map right there. First of all, I have all of the utility available. Second of all, if I fight the Chamber around this corner like this, I'm consistently in a disadvantage. Why? Because he can penetrate me through this position and find my body way easier than I can find his body. Second of all, I'm in the peeker's disadvantage, meaning that, you know, angle perception disadvantage, meaning that, you know, he sees more of my body than I actually see of his body. So if I fought the enemy Chamber here for one gunfight, I would have instantly come closer to this wall and just go for this type of a swing. Abusing the peeker's advantage, abusing the two-step mechanic, and your peeker's advantage is the highest. You have the proper crosshair placement, you know where the hell he is, you have all of the utility, and you still decide to fight in a gunfight that is unfavorable for you. Like, this fight is not going in your favor. I mean, yes, you can one-tap him and kill him, but if you already wanted to fight that Chamber, it would have been much smarter to move like this, around this corner, and then, you know, try to jiggle pick that Chamber, then fighting around the penetratable positions 24/7. Same goes for that position there.
What?
Essentially in Valorant, like, every single gunfight that you take, you can you can make it like work in your favor in some kind of a way, either with better positioning, with better movement, or better utility usage. Like, basically, this is not CS:GO. In CS:GO, like, you're forced to fight a lot, and there is no recorrections. Like, the fight that you choose, that's it. Like, and end of the story most of the times. But in Valorant, use your brain. You know, like, you can always make the fights easier for you, fights better for you, fights working in your favor, essentially.
Oh.
Bro, like, come on, like, can we be slightly more unpredictable? Like, I don't know. Like, one thing that I would abuse in this round is definitely I would just tell my Brimstone, hey, Brimstone, can you crouch underneath me here? And I would just go on this off angle and try to snipe the enemies from here. Like, there is absolutely no way that in Platinum and Diamond lobbies, players are going to expect you playing on top of this position. Like, I've never seen anyone pre-fire this spot in Platinum and Diamond, and it's such an easy kill to delete one enemy and just go back.
Oh, great.
Rushing B. Inside.
In this scenario right here, like, to be honest, while there's a lot of the enemies in the B main, I would have used the ultimate of the Gekko. I really feel that here you had a potential to probably detain 2 or 3 of the enemies, and at the moment of time.
Oh, great.
So you heard this, you heard the shit, like what I would have done here is like I would instantly pull out my gun and do this. I'll just try to detain the enemies, make the pressure, kill those enemies that are detained, and that's it. Like, I mean, simple.
Rushing B. Inside. Why do these guys buy, dude?
I seriously don't know what you're doing. Like, your team play is very, very low, man. Like, you're not paying a single attention which fights your teammates are picking, where your teammates are, and what your teammates are doing. You need to focus a bit more on the minimap. Like, just see, like, where the fuck are my teammates? Where are they getting pressured? How can I help them with my utility usage? Like, your teammates right now fought 5 different gunfights, and you were doing absolutely nothing. Like, you know, okay, enemy Neon is pushing the site here. No problem. I'm gonna use the mosh pit to disconnect that Neon from the rest of the enemies. Then I'm gonna use my ultimate to detain the Jet or Neon on the site so that my Brimstone is living a bit more of a happy life. Then I would, you know, like, push again into this. Like, literally, you could have played this with utility usage 10 times better. What rank is this Gekko? Platinum 2, Platinum 2.
Inside. Why do these guys buy, dude?
Look here, my dude is looking in the smoke instead of running into the smoke as fast as possible so that he is ready to peek together with the Jet and Reyna. Like, this type of mistake should never happen. Like, try to, you know, play on the contact of your teammates and be ready for that contact.
Reload.
Look at this, like, this is so stupid for a Gekko main. For any player that is playing like you know, these initiators and agents, like with this type of utility. Jet is stuck there with one of his teammates. Bam, bam, clearing this, clearing that. Bam, bam. Like, you have so much utility to actually pressure the enemies and to help you and your teammate to actually win this round, and you're doing nothing. You're just waiting for the enemies to plant the spike.
Spike planted. Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
I really hope we're gonna use the ultimate. I'm really hoping we're gonna use the ultimate.
You have ultimate.
No, not from here. Not from here. Not from here. Like, listen, when you're using the Gekko ultimate, first of all, you don't want to get the, you know, in a 1v1 scenario, you want to make sure that you cannot get flanked by the enemies. Like, just don't get flanked and that's it. Like, you don't die while you're in the ult. Second of all, in this area of the map here, you know, where the Jet can easily drop down and outmaneuver your ultimate, Jet can go there or dash away. It was 10 times better to first pressure that Jet onto the tower with utility so she cannot escape that area of the map, and then using the ultimate. So what would I do in this exact scenario? So on 1v1, I have the mosh pit, I have the wingman, and I have the ultimate. So I know that the Jet is on tower. She pulled on the tower. I would use the mosh pit, clear that, send the wingman to defuse the spike, and then basically I would use the ultimate onto the tower, probably from this position here. If I don't see her up there, I'll instantly switch here and do this. Right now, the Jet is probably already like in the, you know, in this arcade area of the map, and that's how she dodged it.
Wingman's defusing. Saw you, Mosh. Shot my wingman. Hey, tell me I'm I love her.
Fuck.
Oh my lord, that was so close! That was so close, bro! What? That Jet almost lost the round by an inch, man. Holy shit, I thought we won the round, man. Holy crap. But, listen. You lost this round only because of, you didn't initially close the gap with a Jet. Like, it was 10 times smarter to use your ultimate in an area of the map where you can clear more angles and move your ultimate for a longer period of time instead of using your ultimate before you use your wingman. So when you're in a clutch scenario with a Gekko, and you have wingman and ultimate and mosh pit, like you use the mosh pit to deny the space of that enemy from peeking you, getting into the site to drop the wingman to defuse the spike, and then using the ultimate to protect yourself and the wingman in the same time. Like, not the other way around.
That was close.
Okay, I need to take a piss, bro! Okay. Okay. Let's go. Listen, on Fracture, I firmly believe that in these lobbies, in Platinum and Diamond and Gold, it would be much better in those bonus rounds on defense if you're abusing like Stinger and Judge and Spectre and Sheriff instead of the Marshal. Like, Marshal is such an inconsistent weapon, like when the enemies are full buy. Like, you need to hit that headshot. And for your current mechanical skill, I really feel that other weapons will be far more beneficial and you will have far more success and adaptiveness than playing a stupid Marshal in the second round, in these bonus rounds. Like, fuck the Marshal. Like, just buy the Stinger, buy the Sheriff, buy the Judge, buy the Shorty, the Spectre. Like, there's so many great things that you can do. Like, do you know how many times I see in these Platinum lobbies, enemies are pushing the B side, and they just swing here like this. Without any utility, without anything. Play here with a Shorty, bam, bam, easy kill. Play here with a Shorty, bam, bam, easy kill. Like, it doesn't make any sense to try to go for the one-taps in a Platinum lobby. Come on. I have a question in your opinion. Who is better as an agent, Jet or Neon? Jet is always going to be S tier. Until they nerf the dash ability and her hit a bit more, she's still like the best agent in the game.
We can overcome them.
Whatever, man.
The moral of the story here is do not complicate your gameplay and don't try to be tens if you already don't need to complicate it and if you're already not a tens. Do you have a 40% headshot ratio? You don't have it. Fuck it. Buy the Stinger, buy the Judge, buy the Frenzy. There's multiple different ways how we can play Valorant. You don't need to copy-paste what pro players are doing 24/7 because 90% of times that is not going to work for you. That is why I hate coaches in Valorant. Like, man, like when they recommend some pro player strategies, pro player setups, like, you're playing a solo queue environment. Like, you're playing with a Takimoto Skylar NF 1000 against Baby Dex, Baby Lau, and Baby Ney. Come on, man.
Watch this.
Who's the best team in Valorant in your opinion right now? I don't know, they're all kind of same at the moment, man. There's a lot of great teams. And also, One thing that is going terribly wrong here is how repetitive they are with these pushes. Like what? We pressure the B main area of the map in the same way 6 rounds in a row. You know, you can just maybe hold the enemies here, try to kill that enemy. Hold the enemy here, try to kill that enemy. Boost yourself up here, try to kill the enemy. Play this angle, try to kill enemies there. Buy the shorty, Neon is pushing there with a wall. Ba 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 ba. Like, you know, you're way too repetitive, way too predictable for the enemies. Like, I mean, these guys are not using the brain, but if I was playing against you, I would be expecting this push every round, and I would be punishing you and Brimstone 24/7. What do you mean, Omen? And you mean Jetto? What in your opinion makes him different from other controllers? Omen is just the character that will develop every single aspect of your skill as a Valorant player much faster than any other agent. Once you master the Omen, it is so easy to master any other character. Like basically, with Omen, you're mastering when to be aggressive, when to be passive, to pick a right timings. Everything that you... Omen is gonna put you in every single scenario that you can approach in Valorant. But literally in every scenario, except in the post plan. But anyways, you should not be a lineup Larry in solo queue. So, essentially, that is why I value the Omen, and that is why I mained the Omen for such a long period of time. Like, if I was not playing the Omen as much as I played him, I feel that I would never be this good of a player and with such a great game knowledge as I'm right now. Like, Omen really fixed a lot of my problems in the game. Even though the easiest agent to get Radiant will always be Jett. I don't know, Jett just feels like fucking cheating in this game. But Omen is still like, you know, up to Immortal 3, like, you need to use your brain. You need to use the minimap. You need to see where your teammates are, supporting your teammates, supporting yourself. Like, you need to think a lot. And that is why sometimes when I'm coaching the players, I actually force them to play Omen. Because to make their brains work again, man. Like there's a lot of dust in the brain of the Valorant players. Like, you know, like they're just running and gunning and shooting. Like they don't give a shit. And all of them want to be Radiants. All of them want to play in esports teams. Like, what the fuck you want to play in? Like, you know, you cannot kill like platinum players. Not buying teammates and hoarding credits for no reason. Come on, guys. Listen, from now on, when I'm doing these VOD reviews, if you're reporting someone, I want to see better reports. Like, if I see some good report, I'm gonna give you another free VOD review.
Yeah, buy him. That useless fucking pig.
Ooh, sheesh! Let's kill the arguments.
Yeah, useless fucking pig.
So what if your teammate didn't buy you? You needed to pick a Marshall, get tilted, and pick B main area of the map. Who cares? Like, you know, when I'm playing in solo queue, I couldn't give less shit about my teammates. Who they are, what they say, what they do. Like, I'm just adapting to them. I'm never gonna meet them again. Maybe I'm in Radiant lobbies. But I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm not gonna trash talk my teammates. I'm not gonna tell them anything, basically. Like these arguments are completely pointless, and just arguing with your teammates in solo queue is such, like, how do you have time to do that? Time and energy. Like, let them play. They don't want to buy you, no problem. I'm playing Fracture. I can just buy a Judge, play on B tower, kill the enemies. I can just buy a Sheriff, Heavy Shield, abuse some kind of an off angle. Like, I don't need to buy a Marshall with Elisha and pick B main again.
Taking orb.
Okay, enemies are doing something different.
Don't go yet. Don't go yet.
Hey, when you hold, I'm looking for a weapon.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. When something like this happens for you, So you see, in this scenario, the Brimstone and Sage are rotating fast through the CT area of the map. Reyna is on A site, and we have no idea whether the enemies are gonna commit to the A push or go back to B. And you're forced to play the B site alone. You always wanna pick this position right here, so that you're watching the cross into the canteen and into the generator, and that's your job. Like, if your teammates leave you alone on the B site, you either wanna play this position, or you wanna aggress the enemies towards the arcade or somewhere to take the space. You cannot stay in the canteen, and you cannot stay passively on the site, because, you know, you're losing a valuable information for yourself and for your teammates. So in this scenario, if my Brimstone and Sage are just GTFO towards the A, I would instantly position myself here, narrow down all of these angles into the one, and just hold the enemies here like this.
Yeah, this one.
Dizzy's up top.
If the enemy with Odin is penetrating, you're like, just chill, man. Like, you know, wait for him. Wait for him to finish his penetration, and then, like, you know, like, do something.
One enemy remaining.
You're not gonna win that. You're not gonna win that gunfight most of the times.
Last one main.
Okay, this is a classic situation in Valorant 3 versus 1. Make sure that you play with your teammates. Right now, it doesn't matter if that Brimstone finishes on B. It doesn't matter if he finishes on A. Just, you know, play with your teammates on refrag, and that's it.
Gun here.
Map control doesn't matter right now. Especially right now, I would avoid any 50-50 fights. You have 24 HP. You have a Flash, Moshpit, and Wingman. You have 4 teammates, actually. You have a Wingman as well. Stay alive, don't fight any pointless gunfights, and that's it. Like, right now, I would stay with my Brimstone, watch the CT, and play with my allies. Or, if I already decided to hold this, I would just hold it absolutely safe, like this. Just gathering the info, whether that enemy is crossing there, telling my teammates the guy is B, waiting for my teammates, playing safe. We don't want to lose this round. Ever. If you die, you're probably going to lose it. And also, what the fuck is this crosshair placement? Like, the guy is not Usain Bolt. You know? I mean, he's probably going to run here, but your crosshair should be a bit more to the left there, like, to try to catch his, you know, jiggle peek, to try to catch his, like, wide swing, but I feel that you have a reaction time to react at least there.
Tell me
30
when
seconds left.
you play.
This is way too wide crosshair placement.
Yeah.
You better
Looks
hide,
like you
old
gotta go
man.
A this time. B this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
In this specific round, the most dangerous position that you can choose to play is the tower. You know, the most common spot where the Brimstone loves to ult on Fracture is like ulting the B tower and ulting the A site. So whenever I see that Brimstone has the ultimate and I'm playing on Fracture, I completely avoid this area of the map and this area of the map. Everything else is fine. Anyway, once again, you see at the start of the round that your Brimstone is going for the aggro P. Go support that idiot. Like if he dies, you know, it's really stupid.
Don't peek.
No. Don't pray to God that he is not gonna peek. You need to be the God and actually, you know, support him. Flash for him. Do anything. Like, tell him to do a smoke right here. Like, if he wanna listen to you. Okay, they're destroying arcade wall.
Freaking water. Didn't even
Wait,
get comms, dude.
Got you
Good, good, good.
This one inside.
On my way.
Oh my god.
This was such a misplayed round, man. Like, this support onto the Sage was great. Like, that kill on the Jet was great. Like, to support your Sage, and I would do the same thing.
On my way.
This one inside.
But here, you missed your timing completely. Like, if I saw that my teammates on the minimap are already applying the pressure onto the enemies on site from the generator. One enemy is looking towards Reyna, one enemy is looking towards you. And this chamber planted the trademark right now. I will not destroy the trademark. That would not be my focus. Like, in this scenario, we have two options. We can go for a fast swing to surprise both Brimstone and Chamber on the site, or we can do a mosh pit to pull them back from the site so that Arena can catch them and we can catch them in a crossfire. Like, here, you know, you chose the absolutely worst outcome for yourself. Like, that Chamber just planted a tripwire. Great, he doesn't have a gun in the hands. Bam, 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 let's kill him. He planted a tripwire, trademark, and I'm scared because of, I don't know why, like, I want to destroy it. Let's do the mosh pit. They need to pull right now all the way here and here. Reyna is there. Let's play a crossfire. Let's do the wingman. Like, you're not creating easier gunfights for yourself with your utility. And that is a huge problem. And also, like, how you pick this angle, knowing that on the minimap there's two enemies on the site, is abysmal. Like, you went for a slow shifting peak when there's like two enemies holding on the site. If I wanted to peek, like, first of all, why am I even peeking the enemies here in a clean gunfight? Use your utility. Apply the mental, physical pressure onto the enemies. Create a gunfight that works for you. Enemies cannot fight you from your mosh pit. That chamber tripwire doesn't trigger instantly. Yeah, like, it takes like 1.5 seconds for that tripwire to actually activate. Or 2 seconds.
Oh my god.
Last player.
Watch and learn.
You want to play? Let's play.
Not to mention no comms, don't be.
Launching smoke.
Going B.
Enemy spotted.
One arcade.
Prepare for hellfire.
Blow him up, Mosh.
It's one arcade, one arcade.
You know what? Like this guy, he realizes what's happening, but he just doesn't react to what's happening. I feel that he has a very good grasp, you know, that his teammate is making this mistake, that mistake. But why are you not reacting on the mistakes? Why are you pre-assuming that your teammates are gonna do the right thing? Like, when I'm playing solo queue, I always pre-assume my teammates are mental idiots. They are bored without father and mother, like, they're gonna be toxic, like, they're gonna be shit. And I'm trying to correct their mistakes as I'm playing the game. Like, you see right now that your Jet is gonna pick this fight. That Brimstone is gonna pick this fight. But get yourself ready for a fight. Help that Brimstone out somehow. Like, right now, I would already be, you know, a bit more to the left, so I can pick the enemies on the contact of both Brimstone and Jet. You see there? Like, you just said that the enemies are pushing arcade. And what you did, nothing. You just chilled here. I would already be here, you know, hiding behind the box. Brimstone is holding me dead. All good. Jet dies. Bam. I peek a kill. Brimstone takes a fight. I peek a kill. Flash. Wingman. I mean, in this situation, you couldn't do that, but...
Oh my god. So gonna
Okay. Okay.
That's one arcade.
Huge problem on the defender side is, number one, not correcting the mistakes that your teammates are making with your utility usage and better positioning. Number two is like choosing better positions to fight the enemies and choosing better off angles and better ways to peek the enemies and surprise them. Number three If you notice that enemies are repetitive, buy the stupid operator, punish the enemies, their utility usage was shit. Number 4, create better gunfights for yourself with proper utility usage. Use your utility to your advantage and just try to create a fights that work for you. Like, that's the whole point of playing initiators in Valorant. Like, you can always fight the enemies on your terms, like flashing them out, mollying them, and stunning them, doing this, doing that. Better utility usage. Now, Fracture first round. In the first round, you will always see me do the absolutely same strategy always on Fracture, because it is the best strategy and the best way to push on the Fracture in the first 3 rounds. And that is, for the first 3 rounds, we want to tell our teammates, hey guys, let's push 5 players arcade. 3 rounds in a row. We can do a 4 or 5-man push through arcade, and 0 or maybe 1 of our teammates can lurk through the B main. I'm carrying the spike here with the Gekko. Now, in the first round with Gekko, I will do this. I will buy a classic light shield wingman, tell my Brimstone to do the steam beacon here. I'm pushing fast, changa, 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 clearing this, clearing that, pushing here with a flash like this, entering the site, smoke is there, pushing here, clearing the site, putting the spike plant there or there, entering the tower and pushing the tower together with my teammates. Basically, your primary focus of attack on Fracture is arcade and A main. If you have A main or arcade control, pushing into the B site and pushing into the A site is 10 times easier, and it is 10 times easier winning the rounds and winning the matches on Fracture.
And you refuse to buy our teammates.
Beacon here.
This is El Clasico mistake of solo queue, where people still believe that your primary pathing of pushing into the B site should be B main area of the map. No, your primary position to abuse is the arcade. Arcade is the answer to majority of your problems in solo queue, because here your teammates can make far less mistakes than in the B main area of the map. In B main, they can die from molotovs, they can die from smokes, die from tripwires, from nades, mollies, like anything. But in arcade, it's yours. From which ranks you have to contest site mains, doesn't matter which rank you are. Literally doesn't matter. Like B main and this area of the map, you should use as a lurking, and you should look as a lurking areas of the maps. Areas of the maps where you're trying to pick off the enemies if they are aggressive. We're trying to surprise the enemies. We're trying to split the bomb sites if you're already splitting the sites. If you're calling for the 5-man 5 push, we're always pushing to the arcade and A main. It's just easier, better, end of the story.
Reloading.
There's nothing to stop you. How to stop 5 push through the arcade if you defend? Tell your sage to wall and just prioritize like some kind of trading setup there. Like just, you know, prioritize your utility usage there.
God.
Spike down B.
I don't even want to talk about this round, to be honest. Like, and what type of mistakes he made. Like, I really want to see from now on when I'm VOD reviewing the players on Fracture, this type of a strategy. Like, it's so stupid to do this type of a default and to push the B set in this way. Like, it's so stupid to pick these off-angle fights to die through the B main area of the map. Like, it's so unnecessary. Like, such a stupid way of thinking in solo queue. I mean, unless your teammates really don't want to listen to you, then I will still push through the arcade alone. You know? Even if I need to. Is she gonna win this? Almost. In this round, I would push arcade again. Why not? It's the easiest area for... It's the easiest area of the map for me to close the gap with the enemies. I can just take the tower control with a classic pistol RNG. Right click. It's easier. You know, you can tell your Brimstone to just smoke this here,
Right there.
this tri-lane position like that, And you can push the arcade, surprise the enemies into the CT, surprise the enemies into the site, go onto the ropes, kill that enemy, kill this enemy, and it's easier than pushing A main right now and dying from some kind of a Marshall, Bulldog, Spect. I don't know what's gonna happen in that area of the map. Just a second, I lost the VOD. I'm stupid. Where the hell is the VOD now? Is this the VOD? Fuck me, yes. Sorry guys. I lost the VOD. Aha, here we are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Reloading.
Dizzy's up. Right there.
Okay. You know, it was fine. Like, one recommendation that I need to give you is with the shotguns, always use the circle crosser. It is far superior than a regular crosser when you're holding the angles and when you're engaging the enemies with the shotguns. Circle crosser is always the way to go. And you know, how you play this round, it's fine. I mean, it's anyways an eco hull by round.
Reloading.
Dizzy's up. Right there.
That was okay. Like, I mean, there, if I saw that chamber, I would probably just go back and I would not even try to go for that's a very long range distance. Like, you know, here, if I pick up this judge and I'm hunting that jet, like, if I see that chamber there, I'm either running towards them like this and trying to kill them through the smoke, or I'm instantly pulling myself back to the safety and then, you know, with a classic contesting the chamber and enemies. You try to do something impossible there. Oh yeah! Let's go in an anti-eco round, bonus round, where the enemies are playing like shit weapons through the B main area of the map. It's gonna be a lot of funs. Let's go.
Together. Stim beacon here.
Why would we destroy the knife, man? We don't need to do that.
Reloading. Reloading.
You see, like, your teammates lost the balls and they lost the confidence to push only from one fucking smoke. Fuck the B main area of the map. Prioritize the arcade. Arcade! This cannot happen in arcade. You see, that Sage is pushing easily. She is going through that, you know, arcade area of the map. No one is contesting her. No one is doing anything. Like, there's no utility to fuck her up. Like, the only problem is, like, right now she's gonna need to clear 5 different angles in the same time. And the only reason she's gonna die is because she's not gonna have a proper crosshair placement for all of these positions. As I said 1 second ago.
Wait, where?
One flank.
This is also a very dangerous thing that happens on Fracture, like where if you spend way too much time trapped into one position, into one choke point, you need to make a fast decision whether you want to go back or you want to push into the site. You cannot spend so much time in the B main area of the map and expect that the enemies are not gonna buttfuck you. You need to make some kind of a fast decision. Either we're going in, we're going back, or we're rotating to some other area of the map.
Got him.
Nice 2 cocks, nice 2 kills. But right now, we are 2 versus 2. What do we do in a 2 versus 2 scenario? We push together with our teammate. Like in a 2 versus 2 scenarios, always prioritize playing on a refrag potential instead of playing alone in individual gunfights.
Dizzy's up top.
Right.
One enemy remaining.
Good for 3. Plant the spike.
That was just a bit lucky. Okay. Oh, but by the way, guys, the absolutely best way for you guys to use the Gekko flash is using a 90-degree flash in the air when you're trying to support your teammates and when you're trying to flash something, so that the flash actually comes back into your hands. Just a quick tip there.
My crew is coming through.
So let's talk about this for a second. Just 1 minute. 1 minute talk. So basically, like, this is what pro players do, and this is what you will see that Radiant players do a lot. Whenever you need to flash for your teammates, when they're pushing something, it is always better to use a flash up in the air
Game plan.
than using the flash towards the enemies.
Down for whatever. Thrash is ready.
30 seconds left.
So, for an example, your teammates want to push the B main area of the map. This flash
Dizzy's up top.
is much better than using a flash like this or like this. Why? Because when this flash actually does his job, it comes back into your hands
There's my buddy.
and you can retake it. This flash
Dizzy's up top.
is far better than this flash
Dizzy's up.
because it comes back
Back to me.
towards you and you can just retake it. You gather the information for yourself, you gather the information for your team, and everyone is happy. When you're flashing the enemies in the B main, also what you can do, if you think you have time to do that, is the barrier is here, and you can just do this. That flash is going to pop
Right there.
the enemies there. Your teammates that are pushing B main will have an easy push. End of the story.
Sana sana.
You want to play? Let's
Listen, whenever you're engaging the enemies in the B main area of the map, it doesn't matter who you're playing, what you're playing, like, always push the enemies from the right side here, like this, and then engage the enemies from this position. Like, you never want to risk dying from some kind of an operator there, or some kind of a bullshit where your teammates cannot refrag you, especially if you think if the enemies have the operator. If you think that the enemies have the operator, always tell your jet to smoke that, your breach to flash that, your breach to stun that, or anyone to flash or stun that area of the map. Like, this gunfight here was so dangerous and so bad.
Blocking sight.
Open up the sky.
Wingman's
Enemy
planted.
spy B.
But all of this chat, like, all of this could have easily been avoided. And it could have been much better if we just abused the arcade.
Spike sticking.
Oh, no. Listen. First of all, when do you want to use the Gekko ultimate in the post plant? When the enemies are already around the spike and, you know, you already know where the enemies are. And you can easily detain them. But 4 versus 2. Wasting the Gekko ultimate in a 4 versus 2 scenario. Absolute waste. Like, this is something I would never do. I would use the Gekko's ultimate only as a last resort to win this round. You're already in a huge disadvantage, man. You have a mosh pit, you have everything working in your favor. Why you're using the ultimate?
Thrash got him.
Wow, we got 1 kill. Bro, this ultimate could have been so valuable in the next round. To push the bomb site and to kill the enemies. We already won this round. We're 4 versus 2. That is another thing that I hate, like, when I see Cypher players. Like, they're 4 versus 2, and they use the ultimate for the last 2 players. For the last 2 enemies. Why the fuck I need your ultimate? Just play with me, man. You know, like, let's play a refrag game.
Oh, that's one flank.
One enemy
Enemy
remaining.
down.
That's one flanking.
I mean, in this round, it would have been 10 times better if all 4 of them played on the site, played together, refrag each other's out, and that's it. No risk at all. Risk-free.
Wait.
Whenever Jett has the ultimate, I don't know how much players like in Platinum do this, but I'm always predicting that Jett is either gonna try double updraft there, or double updraft for the arcade area of the map right here. Now, I don't know how much players in Platinum do that, but usually when I see the Jett has the ultimate, I'm holding this angle for like 4 seconds, and then I push something with my teammates. It's worth trying, you know, like, if she goes for that ultimate, she's, you know, you're gonna kill her easily.
Get out of my way.
Careful with the jet. Just one sands.
Here.
Jett is sense. You see, right now, if you had the ultimate, you know, I would have just used the ultimate right now, detain the enemy Jett in the sands, kill the Jett, we open the site, open the map, that's it. Actually, that was Neon, like, not the Jett.
No sweat.
Blocking sight.
Dizzy's up.
Smoke's down.
One inside.
Wingman's gonna plant spike. My wingman's down.
Like, okay, bad order of utility users with Gekko. Whenever you're sending this little guy to plant the spike, you never want to send the flash before the wingman. So here, if I already know that 2 enemies are B, Brimstone and whoever else, KO, and I know that only chamber is drop,
Right there.
like, I would first send the wingman to plant the spike there, then use the flash to support the wingman, because chamber won't have time to shoot at both of these targets, and then I would peek and try to kill the chamber. So that is the proper utility order of Gekko. Wingman, flash, peek.
One job.
Launching smoke. You are powerless. Got the spike.
Our spike carrier's down.
One enemy remaining.
Let's
Spike
go now.
down A. Last player standing.
Okay, one huge tip in those type of rounds. Listen. So, if you're 1 versus 1, and there is enormous amount of time for you to plant the spike, play the game. Chill a bit. Let the enemy overthink the scenario. Like right now, you're playing Gekko. You can pick up the wingman. You can pick up the Dizzy, and you can pick up the molly as well. Reset the abilities. Hold this angle, and wait for the enemy to make a mistake. Enemy, this KO, will either peek you, or he will hold you here for the whole round. If he's holding you, no problem. It's gonna be 10 times easier for me to fight that KO with a flash, and then entering the site and planting the spike, than you know, without the flash. Sorry, it is not the molly, like, it's the wingman. It was wingman on the ground. What the fuck did I just watch right now? Like, you should have picked up the abilities there, gambled it a bit, and then, you know, reloading and resetting yourself. He cannot be on site. Like, if he was on the site, I don't know. Like, basically, he is the speed. Like, right now, you know, I would consistently be placing my crosshair around the angle, around the corner, and I would be expecting that KO is coming from left to right. I don't know why your crosshair is here. Anyways, a huge mistake here was how he resetted himself and how he played this round. Like, I would have picked up the utility, reloaded, held this angle, and that's it. Like, I'm in an advantage here. Like, I can penetrate this, I can easily push that KO back, I can flash him later, like, better. It really didn't make any sense to come all the way up here and to reload. What the fuck?
Nice.
Thank you.
Shanks you!
Stim beacon down.
Good
Nice one.
attempt.
Launching smoke.
Oh shit, fall back, fall back.
Enemy spotted B.
For you.
Just fall back, just fall back. Don't stay in, don't stay in. Just fall back, please.
Guys, do you want to know the secret how to avoid these type of scenarios? It's such a... It is the secret of all secrets. Nobody knows this, like, literally, in the game. Like, how to avoid this shit. Like, you know, your team is getting stopped here and that brimstone now dying. You push to the fucking arcade.
Reloading.
Reloading.
Oh, one flank, one. Oh, one flank, one flank, one flank.
Listen, Danny, like, usually in these VOD reviews, I don't really focus on talking about mechanical skill of the players that much, because those are free VOD reviews and you guys are making a lot of mistakes in your gameplay. But when it comes to your aim, like, what I would work on for the next, you know, few weeks, I would primarily work on your micro corrections and, you know, corrections of your aim. Like, a lot of times you initiate a fight with a bad crosshair placement, and you don't micro-correct yourself at all. You just start shooting. Also, there's a lot of times where you shoot before your crosshair is actually on the target. There's a lot of times where target is moving and you're not micro-correcting yourself with a wrist at all. Like, I would focus on some wrist control, better wrist control, and I would focus on micro-corrections. Like, you know, just make some kind of a routine in Kovacs or Aimlab that focuses on these problems.
Be away for long.
Now, huh?
And definitely your crosshair placement needs to be a bit better for some of these angles that you're holding. Like, you're either holding them way too narrow, way too wide, or you're holding them literally inside of the walls.
Rina, huh?
I focus on vision control every night. My aim is like scream.
Oh, you know, if you can buy us, then we can buy for you. Now you look at yourself, you fucking ass.
Nice.
Stim beacon here.
Listen, guys. Whenever your teammates, like, if you're playing Initiators on Fracture, you know, I'm playing Gekko on Fracture. Whenever your teammates are pushing this area of the map, I highly recommend you to always flash for them. Like, always bounce the flash like this. It's better to be safe than sorry. Like, you never know when the jet with op is playing there, when enemies are contesting you there. You can pick up this flash anyways.
I'm going in.
And I would definitely focus on clearing the right side and every single angle like a proper human being. As per said. Like, when I'm pushing the main area of the map, I usually clear this, place my crosshair inside of the wall, and then swing that enemy like this. Like, basically, with my crosshair, I'm already pre-assuming that the enemies are there, and just with movement, I'm countering the enemies. Like, you know, this is how I would push with Gekko, main area of the map. Like, using a flash here, clearing those angles, pushing there, clearing that position, clearing that position, clearing this position, jump spotting the enemies, peeking the enemies, pushing in, and clearing this spot.
Enemy spy.
You can buy us.
You guys get
Here. Get out of my way. Reloading.
Smoke.
Oh my.
This is a general tip that I can give to every single player in solo queue. General solo queue tip for clearing main areas of the map. In main areas of the maps, you never want to pick clean fights and dry swing the enemies. They can be on multiple different vertical, horizontal positions and on multiple different off angles that you might not expect. Second tip, you always want to either jump spot the angles, choose better pathing, bait your teammates and refrag them, use utility to push the enemies, or use the utility to clear those angles. So, for an example, if I'm pushing the B main area of the map, and I'm pushing in first, for an example, with Gekko, I'm pushing here, like this, pushing that, letting my teammates pick that contact, so I can refrag them and I can play with them. I'm pushing in here. Then, I'm jump spotting the enemies here, and then jiggle peeking every single angle one by one. Or, sometimes what I love to do, I love to jump to this area of the map, just to reveal the enemies, and then swing them with a peeker's advantage, proper crosshair placement, and a two-step mechanic. But you will never see me, ever, in my life, do this. Way too risky, way too many horizontal and vertical spots where the enemies can be, and my crosshair placement can never be ready and perfect for the enemies. Enemies are always in some kind of an advantage over me.
Hi guys.
Like, these type of deaths should never happen for you in solo queue. Like, you know, dying here, dying here, dying here, and dying here. Like, all of these deaths here are completely unjustified, and they should never happen for you. Like, you can prevent them in one way or another. But dying here is fine. Dying here is fine. Because you're pushing the site, you're doing something useful, and we're trying to take the map control and the site control.
It's okay, bro.
Bro.
Especially in those like platinum lobbies and diamond lobbies, you should try to value your life a bit more than the life of your teammates. Like, you need to control the outcome of your rounds yourself. That doesn't mean that you should completely bait your teammates and let them die for nothing, but play more of the contact game, of the refrag game. And when you're executing the sites, yeah, push in, like, you know, try to lead your teammates in, but these deaths will cost you a lot of the rounds.
We can play slow.
You want to play? Let's play.
That's dangerous.
There.
I just don't realize, like, first of all, why are we splitting in this round when the enemy chamber has the operator, and when you already see that enemies are mechanically better than your teammates? Like, in platinum and diamond lobbies, on fracture, it is just better to tell your teammates, hey guys, let's push something together. Let's work towards some area of the map together, and this allowing your teammates to pick these type of individual fights. Second thing, use your utility to fight the enemies. Okay? Like, you know, it's okay that you baited the shit of this guy, but when he already died, pull out your flash, flash the jet, and that's it. And anyways, as I said like previously, I feel that your crosshair placement is shit for a majority of the angles that you're holding, for a majority of the angles that you're peeking, and you need to fix your crosshair placement inside of the custom server and inside of the deathmatch. Like, two most common mechanical mistakes that you have, and two mechanical mistakes that I would focus on for the next like 1 or 2 months, is crosshair placement and micro corrections with my wrist. Wrist mouse control.
Oh my.
That's fucking.
Listen, guys, whenever you're blaming your teammates on the attack for some mistakes, and whenever, like, you know, your teammates are playing default and they're just dying, just tell them to play together. Fuck it. If that already worked, great. Now he's gonna swing this angle again, and he's gonna die like potato.
Dim beacon down.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe his teammate is gonna die like potato. What a maniacs, man. What a maniacs. Like utility usage doesn't exist. Silver, welcome to stream, man. How are you today, bro? Much love. Face Kuchen, bro. I saw some of your questions earlier. Like, you asked if I played for any pro team. I never played the Valorant professionally, nor I plan to do that, because I just don't have the stamina to play this game for more than, I don't know, like 5 hours per day, 4 hours. Like, I love the game. I love the solo queue. I feel it is very easy game to reach Radiant and to go pro I don't know, I played this game for a long period of time, and I'm kind of like, you know, I want to be a content creator primarily. I want to be a content creator for some pro team, definitely, in the future. 5 players and no one even reacts to the KO dart. Listen, that is another tip for these lobbies. Like, you know, in solo queue, always focus on destroying destroyable utility of enemies. Like, I always pre-assume in solo queue that my teammates are not gonna do a good job. So I usually, when I'm playing Jet, you know, I smoke the Sova dart, I destroy the Sova dart, destroy the Reyna Lear. Like, if you don't do it, you never know if your teammates are gonna do that.
Enemy spotted B.
Especially in Platinum. I mean, that KO knife is the most stupid knife you can do ever. Literally.
Reloading.
We could
Right here.
be careful.
Pay attention to the minimap. I know that the enemies have flanked you, you know, 2 or 3 times in this match. But right now, if my teammates are pushing B, I don't give a shit about the flank and lurk. I'm just pushing in with the ultimate, with the flash, with the wingman, with utility, and that's it. Like, in Platinum Elo, just focus on what your teammates are doing. You know, it's good that you're watching this flank, but right now, I'll be watching that flank from here, and not from the position from which you are watching it. So that I'm able to push with that brimstone, and my teammates, as soon as they're, you know, want to do that. Especially you losing the life right now would be such a stupid thing, or losing the spike in the B main area of the map. Focus more on the minimap, and try to correct your teammates and their mistakes, and try to adapt to them better.
Let's just go.
You are
Can't do it.
powerless.
Oh, it's one flank.
Caution here.
Good, very good, very good. This is very good, very good.
Spike carrier down.
Last player standing.
Okay, maybe not that good. Like, what the fuck his teammates did, bro?
Spike down B.
Okay, let's reassess this situation. So we have a Molly, we have a Wingman, we have a Flash, we have the ultimate. How many of the abilities we're going to use to fight these 2 enemies? I suspect 0.
One enemy remaining.
But we don't need utilities!
No. Oh my god, Danny, what you doing?
Mistake was assuming that couldn't.
Very.
Dim beacon down.
But this is the first round which ended up like this. Every other round he lost because of lack of utility usage. Also, like, one thing that I don't understand, like, when you have the Gekko ultimate on Fracture, it is so easy to push the A main area of the map and A site. I mean, literally, like, with the Gekko ultimate and the Gekko's trash, you can just, you know, clear the A main, from the A main use the ultimate on the site, and you have the full site control. In this round, I would just push A site and just shit on the enemies.
Down.
Spike wings.
Open up the sky.
Wall raised.
Oh, flank, dude.
What the fuck is that Sage wall number 1? No, like, I don't know. I like, in this round, only the decision making was the problem. Like, basically, in this round, it will be like, pay attention which utility you have and which utility enemies have and which ultimates you have. Like, if you have the Brimstone ultimate and the Gekko ultimate, it is far easier to push the A site than pushing the B site. Because on B site you have like many more elevated spots that your ultimate cannot clear. And you can just hold the A, do the Brimstone ultimate on A, smoke this, smoke the CT, drop and dish, and that's it. Like, why do we need to prioritize B main area of the map so much? I really feel that in this VOD, if you just prioritize more in arcade, to push arcade, and prioritize a bit more A main, like, Easy match.
Spike wings.
That flank of the Neon was really fast. Like, I also would not have expected that flank at all. But one mistake that you were making here is why the fuck are you still in the B main? You know, like, if my Jet is already on site, if my Reyna is already tower, I would already be at least in between them, trying to help both of them. I have the Brimstone and Sage watching my ass.
Oh, fine.
So you know, your primary... essentially, your primary focus in solo queue... is supporting your most aggressive teammate that has the highest chances to die, and that is doing something useful for the overall team. If my Sage and Brim are already scared to push the B main, my Jet and my Jet and Reyna are already pressuring the enemies on site, I would just push the site and try to support them and, you know, refrag them as best as I can.
Oh, such a fun round.
Why the fuck are we pushing the beast, man? Like, literally, like, bro, he has a Gekko ultimate, man, and he's pushing beast still. Spectre, huh? How much money he had here?
Fash puss does that song.
Let's reset breaths and all that.
Suck, yeah, I mean, you know, like, I'll probably go with a Heavy Shell and Stinger, or maybe Heavy Shell and Sheriff, like, in this round, but okay, Spectre is fine. What would be the best way to improve mechanics outside of deathmatches? There's multiple. We have the websites to improve your reaction time and to improve your visual intake of information. We have the softwares, Aimlabs and Kovacs, deathmatch, practice range, custom server practice. Like there is 5, 6, or 7 routines and tools that I use as a coach to actually make the routines for the players in my coaching sessions. Now, what suits you the best and what I think is best for you, I don't know, because I didn't see you play and I didn't coach you generally for a longer period of time. I make the improvement plans and programs only for the players that I coach for 1 month. Because then I actually understand you as a player and what is going to be the most beneficial for your progress.
One already.
What would be very beneficial for this Gekko, for his progress, is using his brain a bit more instead of his cock.
Yes.
I love the confidence of this player, but come on, man. Denny, come on. We have the ultimate. We have everything. Like, let's push that A. Let's kill them on A.
Oh, such a fun round, but just didn't have a gun, so.
Watch this.
I just cannot believe that this KO was doing this knife like every single round. Every round. 12 rounds in a row. Nobody destroyed this knife once.
Gotta push A.
This is something that I would probably avoid. You know, if I have 2 teammates in arcade, my Sage is dish and my Reyna is there, I would just go for the arcade push. You know? I would just use the ropes, follow these idiots, and try to refrag them and play with them. Right now, you're risking round by a lot. If you lose the spike here, I don't know what to say, man. Round is over. This is way too risky, especially because he has a Spectre and it's a bonus round.
Oh.
No, I would never do this in my life. Like, never. Unless I have, like, 100% information that no one is A, no one is A main, I would do this with a spike. And I would maybe do this without the spike, and I would drop the spike to the Reyna, because enemy Neon and Jet were aggressive, and they were flanking us 24/7. But because he had a spike, Spectre, and a light shield, this play is a huge 50-50 risk that I would not take in a 12-11 round. Like, ropes, playing with Jet and Brimstone, refrag potential, pushing the B side end of the story. Like, this was a huge, like, gamble and risk.
Oh god, 80 on Jet.
Okay, let's quickly see what's happening in overtime. Again, same shit, like his Brimstone is pushing this, he is not supporting the Brimstone with the flash and utility and his presence. Tell the Brimstone to smoke that, take the full B main control if this idiot already wants to do that.
They're going B.
Brimstone can die in 3, 2, 1.
Nice, nice.
Brimstone is fucking god. Like, what is, how, like, this is Platinum 2 and people are dying against the Odin, like, what the
Go back,
fuck,
smoke it
man?
off, please.
Oh wait, oh wait.
Once again, the mistake from previous rounds as well. Your teammate is getting pushed onto the site. Instead of thinking, how can I support this teammate on the bomb site, you're just penetrating the enemies through the smokes and doing nothing. Right now, I will be moving towards the generator so that I can refrag my Sage and help her no matter how the enemies push her at that moment of time.
Enemy remaining.
Or using a molly to stop and deny the enemy's push.
Spike down B.
Brimstone wait.
We are 3 versus 1. And now, we are 3 versus 1. And now he's pushing this Brimstone alone. Play with that team. Bro, you are literally allergic to your teammates. Chill a bit, like, you know, like, you know, like, let's see where the Jet is. Let's see where the Reyna is. Let's play with them. Let's play a team, you know, team play game.
On your right, Gekko. Brimstone 2, bullet.
Yeah, now we can push. Now your Jet is pushing. Now you can push. Now let's go. Let's go. No, but now he's picking a Dizzy. Team play of yours is borderline 0, map awareness 0, and you need to focus more on how to recorrect your allies and how to actually play with them properly. I feel that is kind of like an overall idea of this VOD review. Like, you guys in Platinum and Diamond, you need to babysit your teammates. If they are not listening to you, you need to recorrect their mistakes and notice their mistakes in their gameplay. Otherwise, you're going to lose a lot of the matches and rounds.
Try this shit.
Give me my gun back.
Dim beacon here.
Give me my gun back. Oh my.
Just try one.
Give me my gun back. I don't know how to use this.
You just shoot. Just like Vando.
Oh my.
Bro, this round was a fucking shitfest. Like, why did you even drop the Vandal here?
Here, just hold it.
Careful.
Give me
He got bamboozled,
my
man.
gun back.
You just shoot.
I told.
Nah. Same mistakes every round, man. Same mistakes every round. Like, there's no point in watching this.
Saw someone here.
What the fuck is happening?
Wait, never jump.
Ah, dude. Oh my.
I think that's it. I think there is absolutely nothing more I can talk about. I think I covered every single mechanical problem on this player, every single gameplay problem on Fracture, and how to fix these problems. And with as a final note here, in this final round, movement, crosshair placement, and angle clearing is a trinity force that needs to work together. Like, you cannot, like, as a final note here, general solo queue tips for clearing main areas of the maps. Try to use this. Try to use this. So, if you're alone, pushing the A main area of the map, and enemies can be there,
Right there.
there, 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 there. I cannot swing this angle. with a slow peek like this. I'm in a huge disadvantage, crosshair placement disadvantage, movement disadvantage, angle perception disadvantage. The only way I can clear these angles, if I already think one enemy might be on site, is jiggle peek, jiggle peek, jiggle peek, jiggle peek, or jump spotting the enemies if you already don't give a shit about sacrificing your sound. Like you died because of this like 3 times in this VOD. Because of this slow peek when enemies can be anywhere and when you already know that enemies are somewhere on the site or in specific area of the map. Okay, that's it, boys. That's it for today's VOD review. If you want to buy my coaching, join my Discord server. If you want to see more of these VOD reviews, you know, follow me on Twitch. On YouTube channel, tomorrow, new YouTube video is coming out. And tomorrow, what are we gonna do? Tomorrow, we are going to do like tomorrow, we're just playing Jet to Immortal. Tomorrow, I'm giving you some tips for the Jet Dash ability. And we're gonna play like 5 games of Jet to Immortal. So tomorrow, no coaching, just gonna be Jet tips and tricks. I'm gonna showcase you some cool stuff with the Jet Dash ability. And from the stream after that, I'm gonna start with I'm gonna give you a tips and tricks for the Jet economy, for the Jet combinations of utility usage, and I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks for the Jet executes. Sorry for today's stream, like, I don't know. My game was, my PC crashed like 3 times. I don't know what happened there. Usually that doesn't happen. And if you want to see what I'm streaming tomorrow, join my Discord server. Danny, you're not a bad player. You're a really good player. You have a potential, but man, we need to work on that team play, utility usage, and some portions of your mechanical skill. You cannot reach with these problems, you know, Ascendant Elo or Immortal Elo. Okay, good. Okay, boys, let's rate someone. Let's see who is live. Let's give someone the love. And I'll be seeing you tomorrow's. Who should we rate? Noted is live. Andrew, Tycho. Noted, should we rate Noted, man? Like, let's rate Noted. Fuck it. Noted rated us before, like, Noted rated us like a few days ago. Let's rate Noted. He's my boy. Okay, guys. By the way, guys, if you want to get a free VOD review as well, join my Discord server. I'm currently running a VOD review giveaway. Bro, I need to take a haircut. Like, my hair is so messy, man. Look at this. What the fuck is this, bro? Peacock haircut. Bebop and Rocksteady from the Ninja Turtles. What the fuck? Oh! Wait. Actually, yeah, we're done for today. Okay, guys. Much love. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Don't be gay.
Probably could have lived a whole life where you didn't even land as a blip on my radar. Now that you've been in my sights, got a nice